engines roaring, feel the beat, Ryan and John can't be beat, on the fast lane, so sleek, gotta rev up, hit the street, ooh yeah, fast lane, all night, feel the speed, feel the light, join the ride, hold on.
And we're back in the fast lane. John Williams, Ryan O'Connor, as we talk all things motorsport, also lifestyle, and as we slowly work towards summer, some amazing new things happening around South Africa. John, interesting weekend of Formula One. That's where we start. Of course, this is all brought to you by our friends at Breitling, at eBet, OneBet, and our friends at Sanlam Private Wealth, where, by the way, the time is ticking.
Sure.
Tick, 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 tick. Swartkops, hier ons kom. Hier kom ons.
Round number 2.
Exactly. Talk motor racing this past weekend. What a weekend.
Yeah, it was. I think it was great because the racing was really close. For the first time in a long time, we saw 3 manufacturers fighting for the win. So I really enjoyed that. Obviously, a street circuit. I don't know if you saw, Ryan, but there's one section where they go between this castle. But I mean, literally one car can fit through that section. So really, really nice to see the guys competing at a high level and so close to the walls. But the youngsters were really impressive for me. You know, the Argentinian Franco and Oliver Bierman competing for the first time, or second time for both of them, but both getting great results, scoring points. But for me, Oscar Piastri, cool, calm, and collected, did extremely well to hold off Charles Leclerc. Great move, because like he says, if he didn't make that move at that time, he would have probably sat behind Charles, like Charles sat behind him, you know, just battling to pass. But 3-way fight, and then obviously the big bang at the end there with Carlos and Sergio Perez, which is
two professionals, points for their teams, podiums,
points, manufacturing points.
You don't make mistakes like that. I get it, that the rush of blood to the head, you want to be competitive, you want to be fierce, you want to fight. I know. And just think about it from a points and a team's point of view. Red Bull now have lost, because of that little fight, have lost the manufacturer's title in terms of the race and being in the front. And they both have lost points. Yeah,
and I mean, it's important for these teams, especially the manufacturers. Yes, it's the driver's title is one thing, but the way the team makes most of the money is winning the manufacturers. That's where the big bucks come. So McLaren, the team to beat for sure. They definitely have the fastest car. I'm loving this little rivalry. I said to you before. Internally.
Piastri and
Mark Webber behind the scenes.
Lando Norris.
The mind games, and you need a good team behind you to support and play these mind games. So those games have already started off, and I think because they came out saying Lando's number 1 for this weekend, and it was all about Lando and their strategy, and then boom, bad qualifying. Piastri goes out and wins the race. Great number 2 driver, Mark Webber, smiling, going, he is the best number 2 there can be. You know, so really exciting. I think Mercedes still lacking a bit of pace. Red Bull, there's definitely things going on behind the scenes there. For me, for Max not to be upset or cross or sort of thing, and then going to Singapore, which is a track they just haven't done well in many years. They really struggle there for whatever reason. But maybe with it looks like the temperature is going to be changing there. They could see a little bit of rain, so maybe that'll help them. But for whatever reason, the Red Bull just doesn't go well around Singapore. So a lot of pressure for Red Bull, a lot of changes, Newey coming out and obviously slowly speaking more and more about things behind the scenes, which, you know, as you know, it's like a family that was so tight for so many years, and now there's internal fighting and these little things. It makes it tricky to keep the team together.
Yeah, it's a tough marriage to negotiate now, because the next question will be asked is how long will Max stay? And I guess Max will be asking himself that, and that'll be the next big thing. Will be where will he go? Will it be motorsport? Will he stay within Formula One, or will he leave the sport completely?
Yeah, and teams pick up on that, so they'll slowly start throwing little stones, saying, "Hey, is he moving? Hey, Christian, what's happening with your number 1? He's not happy. How are you going to keep him happy?"
Mind games.
Exactly. So they all know, and they all obviously want to beat Red Bull, so they're going to do whatever it takes. Gloves off. I mean, they're not going to play nicely. They want that win.
Absolutely. Right, listen, from Formula One, what else is happening? There's a massive 2 wheels this weekend, and then we're going to get to local, because locally, the Porsche Club of South Africa are having their annual get-together, and it's here. When I say here, if you're wondering where we do this podcast, it's in Cape Town. So let's just very quickly talk about 2 wheels.
Yeah, so we go back to San Marino. It's not often that you have 2 races back-to-back, but because of the Kazakhstan event, and I try to actually read up on it. I know they were battling to finish the track, and then obviously, you know, from the rights point of view, you have to pay a lot of money to have your event there. And as I was reading, I was thinking, gee whiz, Kazakhstan having a MotoGP? No offense to people from Kazakhstan, but I was thinking,
we don't know much about the country.
No, and I just thought, well, it must be costing a lot. And, you know, I would think they're a similar type of nation, like when it comes to getting these type of events. They don't do a lot like South Africa. We don't get a lot of these big events, but man, it would be awesome to get one. Yeah, I was kind of jealous in a way when reading that, but for some reason, it's not happening again for the second year. So back to San Marino, lots of excitement there. Obviously, Brad Bernal can maybe improve on that.
Isn't it amazing how nobody knew Kazakhstan, all right? right, until Borat. And then Borat brought so much economy. There should be a Borat statue in Kazakhstan. Sorry. Anyway.
Didn't you buy the Timu costume that you're taking? Didn't it look like Borat, no?
The Timu one comes with a built-in skid mark.
For sure.
Listen, okay,
So, yeah.
local motor racing.
MotoGP,
Right,
hopefully we see Brad doing a little bit better.
From 2, let's talk 4. What's happening this weekend?
Local Extreme Festival, round number 7 at Kenali International Raceway. Again, lots of different type of vehicles competing there. We see the GR Cup, we see S8 touring cars, we see GT3s, we see bikes. So lots of excitement there. So go down and support this because it is, again, different to what we would normally see guys from Joburg, PE, Durban, Quebec, all coming down to support this local racing. So some really awesome cars. I mean, well over 5 bars, some of these cars, because they're internationally spec'd GT race cars. So really nice to see.
I can't wait because next week on the Fast Lane, we're going to feature some of this weekend's action with the Porsche Club of South Africa's Get Together. You're going to be hosting these guys. I'll be out of town over the next week and a bit, and I'll show you where I'll be in next episode of the Fast Lane. But you're going to be looking after these guys from the South African Porsche Club. Yeah,
I'm quite excited. Obviously, I'm not your regular MC, so I feel like Ryan's been passing the baton over to me, giving me some tips. So, yeah, it's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, most of these guys are friends and family over many years that we spend a lot of time at the club and doing these runs with. So, 127 Porsches will be on this run. It happens every 8 years, and then each club gets passed the baton on who hosts it. This is the 5th one for the Porsche Club Cape Town for the event, but a lot of planning. I mean, behind the scenes to make this thing run smoothly and self-funded. This is not funded by Porsche South Africa. This is funded by the clubs. So they really have to put things together to make it happen. And I tell you what, it's going to be super exciting. If you want to come and watch, you can watch along Royals, Clarence Drive, a very famous drive in South Africa, in Cape Town, specifically, out to Benguela Cove. You can sit along the coastline there and see 127 of these immaculate Porsches, from classics to supercar spec GT3 RSs. And I mean, I counted, Ryan, just on the truck coming down, I counted at least 4 of the latest GT3 RSs. So 4 days of fun and Porsche passion and sharing great stories. If you see my favorite car at the moment, it's the Boxster RS Spider. If you see one, please feature it for next week's episode, because that's my pick at the moment. That is my favorite car. That'll be incredible. Right. Speaking of cars and favorite cars this week, we've got 2 beasts in the Fast Lane stable. One is the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT63 SE. Now it says GT63 S on the badge, but they call it the SE, and E for electric. It is the most powerful production car that Mercedes-Benz make, with just over 1,400 Newton meters of power. It is a beast. Don't take my word for it. Captain Slow gets to drive John in it. Have a look at this. Holy smokes. John and I are in the GT63 SE, the E for electric, the S for sport, the GT63 for the AMG's fastest ever production car on earth.
It is mind-blowing. My face is actually sore from the G-force, and I can't stop smiling. Every time Ryan launches this car, you just have this like naughty giggle. It's ridiculous. Unbelievable.
I'm looking around. I mean, there's nothing on the roads that's gonna stay with this car. Robot to robot, doesn't matter what you drive. Even an electric, you can come and pull next to me and you can go, I got an electric, we're gonna go. You're not gonna go. This car is unbelievable. There's a reason why it's so highly rated. It's because it can do this.
Oh my goodness! It's like a hard launch. It's almost like a punch to the gut. Could you feel that?
Even for Captain Slow, Captain Slow in this, it's unbelievable. John, what I like about this is it's got really literally 2 modes. Comfort, you can keep it in, or Sport Plus. It's got an electric motor that basically keeps the car going and starting in my neighborhood without having to wake the whole neighborhood up. As soon as you put it into Sport Plus mode, you activate all sensors in terms of this car coming alive. It is ready to take on whatever it is you want to throw it your way. But you want to potter around the neighborhood, you want to go down and do the school run, you don't want to have to use the combustion engine, leave it in a comfort mode or electric mode. It'll alternate between the two, but it'll take you you an absolute comfort from home to where, or from the office to where you need to be. It really is an amazing vehicle. This, I am loving how Mercedes-Benz have made the layout. Everything falls at your hands, even little things like changing the volume. It's got a little volume rocker to change the volume in terms of the of what you're playing, the infotainment system. You don't want to. I haven't played the radio at all in the car. Why? Because the soundtrack of that V8, that twin turbocharged V8,
The rumble.
man,
Do you know what I
this is
also
a
like,
special
Ryan,
car.
is the seat. I mean, you sit so nice. It's so important when driving a car. It's a big car.
Yeah.
And when you're using this amount of power, you're so snug. I mean, you just fall in place. It's just, I'm loving the comfort of the seats. A lot of carbon fiber, obviously. The Alcantara on the steering wheel. A little bit of flair with the seat belts. There's a little bit of dasher yellow throughout the car, through the stitching and so on. With the yellow calipers, which is quite nice. Bless.
See, I'm used to wearing Oakleys. And with the Oakleys, I can see better. Listen, we were in two amazing vehicles this week in the fast lane. This is one of them. The other one, also the best of the best. It's the world's fastest SUV. Let's have a look. So as promised, the fast lane delivering on some amazing content. We're inside the cabin of an Aston Martin DBX 707. This is the personal car of the CEO of Daytona Group, Justin Devaris, and I can see why, John, he's chosen to have one of these cars as an everyday car. This vehicle is so cool. It is such an amazing vehicle, and I'll tell you why. Not only because of the color scheme and the fact that it's
flamboyant color. I love it. I've never seen a color like this ever.
and the fact that it's the fastest SUV in the world. Those aren't the reasons why I love this car. The color is this green, and I'm going to do it an injustice by giving the incorrect name.
Yeah.
So please appear on the screen what Aston Martin likes to call this car. And this is in particular why I like it, John, is because Aston Martin, you normally associate obviously with James Bond, the associations there, but it's a bespoke British sports car.
Yeah.
It's one that we think of, that amazing color green that's synonymous, that British racing green, with Aston Martin. We think of the DB series, the Dave Brown series of cars that are synonymous with that slightly upper lip, I'll raise my teeth, that class. And then you go and you put a green Lumo color like this on an Aston Martin, and you
See,
are
they carried it through on the stitching on the interior. It's beautiful with the carbon through the middle here.
blown
What a car.
away. On the road, I've got to tell you, it's got all the right manners. You know, proper manners, what? You know, as I say, as I come past you, I go, hey, how art thou,
Old chap.
old bean? It's beautiful. It's got such nice road manners. When it wants to, and when you want it to, it'll lift its skirt and blast past
Talk about that.
anybody.
The rear of this car. How pretty is the back of this car? You have to see it. That rear diffuser. I've never seen such a sexy rear diffuser. But that obviously technology from Formula One, you can see has been carried across into the aerodynamics of this car. But what a car. Beautiful.
What a car. Beautiful interior. A lovely place to spend time inside the cabin of the DBX 707. Of course, 707, a very significant number. It's just, like I said, a wonderful place to spend time. And in the fast lane with us, a huge thanks to the Daytona Group. They are the official importers of, amongst the others, Aston Martin, and of course McLaren and Rolls-Royce, and they've got Pagani in their stable. And it really is an incredible offering. The team on the floor always willing to help, and there's something special for everyone's tastes. And if Aston Martin is yours, well, look no further than a DBX 707. A huge thanks again, Justin, for the use of this vehicle. I'm going to battle giving this back. Oh, what a beautiful place to spend time. Nice, and that is it, ladies and gents.
Incredible. What we didn't get to show is how we were able to leave the car park without anybody knowing. I love that feature. You were saying it's actually nice for you at home.
It starts in full electric mode, which is beautiful. Listen, a huge thanks as well from a lifestyle point of view to Rueda Wines, Rueda Fernando
Junior.
Junior. Huge thanks, Fernando. Incredible service. I ordered something from them this week that I picked up from Porcelansbach. They've got an incredible selection of wines, by the way, on Rueda Wines, and go and check them out. We'll put the website over there on the screen, so have a look at that. That's Rueda Wines.
Very bespoke type wines.
Very bespoke and delivered to your door. I ordered it at like 9:30, in the morning. It arrived by before lunchtime. So, Fernando, huge thanks to the amazing service. And who knows, maybe sometime soon we'll have a very special fast lane code that you can use to get a little bit of a discount on wines from them. Superb selection of wines. And also then I need to say that we will be from 2 different venues. Well, this will happen next week, but I'll be in the USA, in Florida, and of course John Williams will be back on the other side of an amazing weekend with the Porsche Club, particularly Pierre Goos and the guys from Porsche Club Cape Town. What we forgot to mention, and we forgot to say a big well done to, is John's brother Shane Williams flying the flag for the fast lane in Oberga last weekend, getting podiums and just racing the socks off that car of his. Well done, Shane Williams. Really incredible to have you representing not only the fast lane but back in the sport, loving it, having a jawling up a storm in Oberga, and like I said, just being a good representative for the fast lane. Back next week, proudly brought to you by Breitling, eBet, and our friends at Sanlam Private Wealth.
Engines roaring, feel the beat, Ryan and John can't be beat, on the fast lane, so sleek, gotta rev up, hit the street,